The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was a place where thousands of voices usually echoed. But today it was silent. Every alien leader, every representative, every observer was staring at one group standing in the center. The humans. They stood straight, calm, and almost emotionless. Their dark uniforms reflected the cold lights of the chamber. No one could understand why they looked so relaxed when their fate was about to be decided. The council speaker, a tall creature with silver skin and glowing eyes, finally spoke. Humans of Earth. After long debate, we have reached our decision. His voice echoed across the hall. No one breathed. Even the large machines in the corner seemed to freeze. You are banished from the galaxy. Not a single human moved. Not a whisper. Not a sigh. You will leave all council-controlled space within 10 cycles, the speaker continued. Your influence is dangerous. Your growth is too fast. Your actions, too unpredictable. You do not follow our rules. And so, you must go. Soft murmurs rose from the alien crowd. Many expected humans to cry out, to protest, to beg. But they did none of that. The human team leader, Ambassador Elara Ward, stepped forward. She was calm, her eyes cold but steady. She looked around the hall slowly as if memorizing every face, every species that chose to cast humanity out. Then she spoke in a quiet, steady voice. You fear what you do not understand. And today you make a choice you cannot undo. Her words felt heavy in the air. A few council members shifted uncomfortably. The speaker frowned. This is our final judgment. If humans wish to avoid conflict, you will obey. Elara tilted her head slightly. We will leave. The simple answer surprised everyone. Many aliens blinked, shocked. A few even sighed in relief. They believed humans were finally accepting their defeat. But then Elara added one last line. Remember this decision. One day you will understand what it has done. Her voice carried no threat, no anger, only certainty. And that made it even more unsettling. The humans turned and walked out, slow, steady steps echoing across the hall. No panic, no fear. Only silence. As the large doors closed behind them, the speaker exhaled. It is done, he said. Humanity is no longer our problem. But several alien leaders didn't look relieved. They looked worried. Something in the human silence felt wrong, too controlled, too calm, too sure. One alien officer whispered, "Why didn't they fight back? Why didn't they argue?" Another replied, "Perhaps they know they cannot win." A third voice, older and wiser, spoke quietly. Or perhaps, they already have another plan. The departure of Earth. Within days, humans began leaving council space. Ships departed one after another. Large colony ships, fast escort ships, even civilian transports. All in perfect order. No chaos. No confusion. It was like they were prepared for this moment. Alien analysts watched the movements closely. They expected Earth to send distress signals or ask for help. But nothing came. Instead, a strange report arrived. Earth's beacon has gone silent. This beacon was the planet's main signal transmitter, active for centuries. It had never gone dark. Not even during wars. Yet now, without warning, it switched off completely. The council immediately sent a message to the human government. There was no response. The communications officer tried again. Still nothing. Finally, a high-ranking council strategist said, "Earth is hiding something." The council's unease. Days turned into weeks, and unease grew across the galaxy. Trade vessels flying near the human border reported strange readings. A faint energy pulse like something huge was being built or powered. But every attempt to scan the area failed. Something was blocking the sensors. Why would humans hide their planet? An alien scientist asked. Another replied, maybe they want to protect it. The scientist shook his head. No, this is something else. Something bigger. Rumors started spreading fast. Humans discovered ancient technology. Humans are preparing a secret army. Humans found a new power source. Humans are not leaving to hide, they are leaving to evolve. The council tried to ignore these stories, but they were spreading too fast. Fear was growing, and fear often became truth in the galaxy. The final trigger. One night, deep in a council monitoring station, an officer detected a message. A very short message. Encrypted in a human code so strong it took experts hours to crack. The message contained only 4 words. We rise once more. The officer stared at the screen, his hands shaking slightly. What does it mean? He asked. The chief analyst looked pale. It means humans are not going to stay silent. The officer whispered, did we make a mistake? No one answered. Because deep inside, every alien leader knew the truth. Humans didn't leave in fear. Humans left with a purpose. Part 1 ending hook. On the last day of the cycle, before all humans left Council space, one final signal appeared on every border sensor. A massive energy spike. A shadow moving through deep space. Silent. Steady. Unknown. The analysts stared at the reading. "What is that?" someone whispered. No one knew. But one thing was clear. It was human. And it was only the beginning. The energy spike detected near the human border did not fade. It grew stronger. The pulse like a heartbeat. Slow, steady, powerful. Every alien species felt it across their scanners, even those who had never cared about humans before. But the strangest part was this. It came from the direction of Earth. Yet Earth was dark. Silent. Invisible. The planet that once sent radio waves across space, now felt like an empty stone. No signals. No light. No life readings. It was as if Earth had simply vanished. The Council's confusion. In the main chamber of the Galactic Council, tension filled the air once again. "This makes no sense," said Kellen, a scientist from the tall, feathered Trell species. "A planet cannot just disappear. Humans must be using a cloaking device," another alien argued. "But what kind of device can hide an entire world?" Silence. No species had technology advanced enough to cloak a whole planet. Not even the Council's oldest allies. Something was wrong. Very wrong. A forbidden investigation. The Council decided to send a stealth probe toward Earth. It was a small, fast machine, made to move unnoticed through deep space. For 2 days the probe traveled without trouble. Then, without warning, it entered Earth's old coordinates. And everything changed. The control center received its first message. Entering restricted zone, detecting high-density energy field, origin unknown. The second message arrived 5 seconds later. Warning, field increasing, systems unstable, requesting. Static. Then the screen went black. The probe was gone. Destroyed. Erased. Not even debris remained. The Council chamber went silent again. One of the elder members whispered, "Humans warned us. They said this decision would be remembered." No one replied. The truth was becoming clear. Humanity was not obeying. Humanity was preparing. Fear in the civilian worlds. Across the galaxy, news spread faster than any Council announcement. Everyone was talking about humans. Alien merchants whispered in fear. Humans blocked their planet. Something big is happening. Space travelers claimed. "I saw a strange ship near the border. It looked like human design, but it had no engines." Others said, "I heard Earth is building a superweapon." None of these stories were confirmed. But fear did not need proof. It only needed a spark. And humans had provided more than a spark. They had provided silence. A silence that felt alive. The disappearance of colonies. 3 weeks after the probe incident, another crisis hit. A small Council colony named Vorin 6 sent a distress signal. Unidentified ships approaching. Black holes. No markings. Moving in complete silence. When the Council sent a patrol fleet to investigate, they found nothing. The colony was empty. Not destroyed. Not burned. Not attacked. Empty. Buildings remained. Ships were still docked. Lights were still on. But every single living being had disappeared. A chilling realization washed over the Council. Only one species in the galaxy had a history of entering dangerous zones quietly. Only one species used stealth technology like this. Only one species moved with silence and precision. Humans. The forbidden communication. The Council desperately tried to contact the human government again. This time they received a response. But it was not a message filled with words. It was a single image. A star system surrounded by a massive energy ring. Human engineers standing beside giant machines. A large structure rising in the background, shaped like a gateway into another dimension. The image had a single caption. "We build what you feared." No threats. No requests. Just a statement. A statement that felt like a warning. A scientist's discovery. While the Council debated, one alien scientist worked alone. Her name was Dr. Nira Solon, a member of a peaceful species known for their intelligence. She studied old human star maps, comparing them to recent energy spikes. Her eyes widened as she realized the truth. Earth had not disappeared. Earth had shifted. Humans moved their planet behind a massive artificial field. One that blocked all detection, communication, and travel. A technology far beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. "This isn't defense," Dr. Nira whispered to herself. This is transformation. She sent her findings to the council. For the first time in centuries, the council chamber erupted in panic. A disturbing pattern. More colonies near the human border began reporting strange events. Ships disappearing from sensors. Shadows moving in deep space. Unmarked vessels passing silently. Powerful energy readings near asteroid fields. Entire regions blocked by unknown interference. None of these incidents left destruction. Humans were not attacking. Humans were closing space around them. Like a child drawing a circle on the ground before taking their first step. A boundary. A claim. A warning. Part 2 ending hook. Late in the night, in a dark observation tower, a young alien officer watched the border screen. Suddenly, a shape appeared on the monitor. Large, slow, black, silent. The officer leaned forward, eyes wide. What is this? The ship was massive, far bigger than any council dreadnought. Its surface reflected no light. Its engines emitted no heat. The shape looked almost alive. The officer activated the sensor. A single word appeared. Unknown. Then another word replaced it. Human. The officer's voice shook as he whispered. They're not hiding anymore. The galaxy was no longer watching humans leave. The galaxy was watching humans return. The giant black ship remained motionless at the edge of council space. Its presence felt like a shadow stretching across the stars. Every scanner pointed at it, every satellite tracked it, yet no data made sense. The readings kept breaking. Power levels spiked, then dropped to zero. Heat signatures vanished. Mass calculations fluctuated wildly. It was as if the ship was both there and not there. The council's fear grows. In the council chamber, the mood had changed from arrogance to fear. The speaker stared at the holoscreen showing the ship. What do we know about it? He demanded. A nervous technician answered, It matches no design in our database, sir. But the metal structure, it is similar to old human hull construction. So it is human, an advisor whispered. But this is impossible, said another. Humans never had ships this large. They never had cloaking systems this strong. They never. A security general cut him off. They do now. The chamber fell into dread-filled silence. Alien fleets attempt contact. The council sent a cautious diplomatic fleet. 2 cruisers for escorts and a messenger vessel. The messenger ship approached slowly, all weapons disabled, lights flashing blue. A message was sent. This is the council. Identify yourself. State your purpose. For several minutes nothing happened. Then, the black ship moved. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just a slow rotation, as if it turned to look at the approaching fleet. The messenger captain felt dread crawl up her spine. The ship had no windows. No bridge. No lights. Yet she felt watched. The second message was sent. Still no answer. The captain tried a third time. Silence. Then the black ship sent a signal, a single audio transmission. A calm human voice echoed across the fleet. Do not cross this line. The words were simple. Not shouted. Not threatening. Just firm. The captain looked at her screen. What line? Then she saw it. A faint beam of light, extending across space like a border. Shimmering softly, almost invisible. A boundary. A human-made boundary. The first incident. One escort ship, nervous and confused, drifted slightly forward. Its nose crossed the light. The black ship reacted instantly. It didn't fire. It didn't launch missiles. It didn't even move. Instead, a wave of silent energy washed out like ripples in water. The escort ship froze. Its lights flickered. Engines died. Power system collapsed. It was not destroyed. It was disabled. Completely. The captain screamed into the comm. We crossed nothing. We didn't mean. But the human voice returned. We do not repeat warnings. Then the signal cut. The disabled escort drifted, powerless, until emergency tugs pulled it back. This incident spread fear across the galaxy like wildfire. Humans were not attacking. Humans were not negotiating. Humans were drawing their own borders. And those borders were stronger than any council defense. Strange reports across space. In the following days, reports came from many regions. Report 1. A mining team found human drones silently scanning asteroid belts. Report 2. A cargo convoy vanished for 2 hours, and reappeared with engines repaired and upgraded. No explanation. Report 3. 2 alien warships encountered a massive energy wall that stretched for thousands of kilometers. It was impossible to pass through. Report 4. A human transmission intercepted. Phase 2 complete. No one knew what Phase 1 was. No one knew what Phase 2 meant. But fear was rising. A survivor's testimony. A small scouting vessel from the Zathura species accidentally entered a restricted zone marked by humans. The ship returned with only one survivor. A trembling officer who could not stop shaking. His report spread across the council like fire. We saw structures. Huge structures. Human-made. They are building something bigger than any fleet. Describe it, the council demanded. I don't know. They looked like towers. Not on planets, floating in space. Hundreds of them. Maybe thousands. What were they doing? The speaker asked. The survivor whispered the answer. Growing. The chamber froze. Growing? Machines do not grow. Ships do not grow. Weapons do not grow. Unless humans created something new. Something alive. Something beyond known technology. The Black Fleet expands. More of the silent black ships appeared. One near a nebula. One near a trade route. Another near a dead star. Each ship took position and stayed. Like sentinels. Guarding something. Protecting something. And none of them attacked unless provoked. But the galaxy was no longer fooled. Humans were not defending Earth. Humans were expanding. The council's desperation. The speaker slammed his staff against the floor. We banished them. They should have left in weakness. A strategist replied with a heavy voice. Maybe we never understood humanity. Maybe banishing them gave them freedom. And with freedom, came power. Another added, we thought we were removing a threat. Instead we forced them to evolve faster. The speaker trembled with fear. What do they want? No one answered. Because no one knew. Humans were not claiming planets. Not invading. Not demanding. They were simply growing stronger. Quietly. Steadily. Purposefully. Part 3 ending hook. In the darkest hour of the night shift, a sensor officer noticed a new signal. A beacon. Human-coded. Strong. Precise. It repeated a single phrase over and over. Ascension Gate, activation in 12 cycles. The officer felt his blood turn cold. A gate? For what? For whom? No one knew. But one thing was certain. Humanity was building something that would change the galaxy forever. The message about the Ascension Gate spread across the galaxy faster than any fleet could fly. Every government, every military force, every intelligence unit repeated the same question. What are the humans building? No one had an answer. Only fear. The galaxy had once believed humans were the weakest of the major species. Too emotional, too bold, too young. Now they were becoming something else. Something silent. Something unstoppable. And the next sign of their rise came sooner than anyone expected. The second shadow appears. 3 cycles after the beacon message, another black structure entered council scanners. But this time it wasn't a ship. It was bigger. Much bigger. The object appeared at the border of neutral space. A massive, circular construction of dark metal and glowing blue veins. It spun slowly, pulsing with quiet energy. Scientists stared in disbelief. It's not a station. Not a weapon. Not a ship. So what is it? No one could answer. But one thing was clear. Humans were close. The voice returns. A council diplomat, trembling slightly, sent a cautious message. This is the Galactic Council. We request peaceful communication with the human fleet. Minutes passed. Then hours. Then a reply. The same calm human voice that had spoken from the black ship returned. But this time it sounded colder. More distant. More evolved. Stand by. Just 2 words. But they struck the council like a threat. Stand by for what? Stand by for who? The arrival of the dreadnoughts. Sensors began flashing red across every monitoring station in the quadrant. New signatures detected. Multiple. Large. Unknown. One by one, massive shapes appeared out of the dark. Not 1 dreadnought. Not 2. But 9. 9 human dreadnoughts, each the size of a small moon, each covered in black armor that swallowed starlight. They formed a line, straight, perfect, silent. The council fleet watching from a distance felt like tiny insects compared to these giants. A terrified alien admiral whispered, "How did humans build this in only a few cycles?" A strategist replied with a shaking voice, "They must have been building even before we banished them." The realization hit them hard. Humans were never weak. They were planning. The gate activates. The massive circular structure lit up. Blue light spread across its rings, moving like rivers of energy. The structure began vibrating, humming with a deep sound that could be felt more than heard. The diplomat panicked. "We need to retreat. Now." But before the order could be sent, the human voice spoke again. "Do not fear the gate. Fear your choices." The blue light exploded outward, forming a giant portal, calm and smooth like a mirror made of liquid light. The dreadnoughts slowly turned toward it. One by one they entered the glowing portal, and disappeared. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. A wormhole? A teleportation field? A new kind of travel? No one knew. But whatever it was, humans now controlled it. A spy enters the zone. The council could not stay silent anymore. They sent a secret vessel, a stealth-class ship, built to hide in asteroid shadows. Its commander was a veteran alien officer named Rel-Lin Var. His mission? Enter the human zone. Find the truth. Return alive. Rel-Lin passed the border line slowly, carefully, making no sudden moves. The humans did nothing. No warning. No voice. No energy wave. He moved deeper. And then he saw it. His breath froze. He whispered into his recorder. "I found it. I found the Ascension Gate." The great reveal. Floating behind the massive portal were hundreds, no thousands, of human structures. Giant towers rising in empty space. Ships being constructed like machines growing skin. Massive power generators feeding the gate. New planets being terraformed with impossible speed. Artificial suns burning white and perfect. Rel-Lin trembled. This wasn't an army. This wasn't a fortress. This was an empire being born. Humans had not left the galaxy to hide. They had left to create something new. Something beyond council control. He zoomed in on one structure, taller than mountains, wrapped in energy cables and thrusters. A name written in simple English glowed on its hull. HUMANINIATIVE Phase 3. Rel-Lin swallowed hard. Phase 3, he whispered. There are more phases? The human leader speaks. Rel-Lin tried to escape the zone before he was detected, but it was too late. His ship froze. Every system locked. He heard footsteps behind him. He turned. A hologram flickered to life inside his cockpit. A human woman with sharp eyes and calm presence. Ambassador Elara Ward. The same woman who stood in the council chamber the day humans were banished. She looked at him without anger. Only certainty. "Tell your council," she said quietly, "that humanity does not seek war." Rel-Lin stared, confused. He expected threats, demands, something. Elara continued. "We do not wish for destruction. We do not wish for control." Her expression hardened. "But we will never kneel again." The hologram dimmed. "You cast us out," she said softly. "So we built our own path." Then she gave the final message. "And soon, the galaxy will follow it." Rel-Lin's ship was released. He fled the zone with shaking hands. Part 4 ending hook. Back in council space, Rel-Lin delivered the message. As he spoke, the chamber trembled, not from fear, but from a new signal appearing across every screen. The human voice returned one last time. "Ascension Gate, final phase begins in 6 cycles." No one knew what the final phase was. But one thing was certain. Humanity was no longer rising. Humanity had already risen. Commander Rhea did not sleep that night. She stayed on the command deck, staring at the stars on the large screen. Humanity had grown strong after being cast out. Stronger than the galaxy ever expected. But now the real test was coming. The council fleets were moving. They were planning something big. And the humans needed to be ready. The ship's lights dimmed during the artificial night cycle, but Rhea kept working. She read reports from outer stations, mining colonies, and the new fortress worlds. Every part of the human domain was preparing for conflict. Not because humans loved war. No. It was because the council had left them no choice. Meanwhile, Draven, the first human who had heard the message of betrayal years ago, was now leader of one of the largest frontier fleets. His name was spoken with deep respect. Many aliens who feared humanity still whispered his name with caution. But humans trusted him because he understood something important. Strength was the only language the galaxy respected. At Sunrise Cycle, Rhea opened a secure channel. "Connect me to Fleet Commander Draven." The screen flickered for a moment before Draven appeared. His uniform was simple, with a symbol of Earth on one shoulder and the mark of the Frontier Fleet on the other. "Rhea," he said. "Bad news?" She nodded. "Council fleets are moving in clusters. Not patrols, strike groups. At least 30. Draven leaned forward. "So they finally want to finish what they started." "They think we are still weak," Rhea replied. "They think humans will bend." Draven laughed softly. They cast us out to break us. But instead they helped us grow. Faster than ever. Rhea exhaled. We need a plan. Something bold. Draven looked off-screen for a moment as if thinking. What about the project you mentioned last year? The Echo Fortress. Rhea hesitated. It's still unfinished. It wasn't meant for use yet. But it exists? He asked. Yes, she said. A fortress hidden inside a dead star system. No routes. No signals. No records. Only human leaders know of it. Then that will be our advantage, Draven said. The Council expects us to defend our borders. But what if we let them come deeper, so we can strike from the dark? Rhea slowly smiled. They will think we are running. But instead, Draven said, we will surround them. There was silence between them for several seconds. They both understood what this meant. A trap so large that entire Council fleets could vanish inside it. A plan that required unbelievable courage. A plan only humans would dare attempt. Finally, Rhea spoke. I will alert the High Command. You prepare your fleets. And Draven, this will change everything. I know, he replied. If we win, the galaxy will never be able to control us again. The Council's plan. Far away, inside the shining halls of the Galactic Council, alien leaders gathered around a holographic map of the human territories. Their faces were calm, but their voices sharp. The humans expanded too fast, one alien said. They must be reminded of their place, said another. They were never meant to rise this high, a third added. The council leader, a tall creature with silver skin, tapped a glowing control crystal. The hologram zoomed in on human settlements. The humans were banished for a reason. Their will is too strong. Their minds too sharp. Their spirit too wild. They don't accept limits. Another alien leaned forward. Then we destroy a few of their new colonies. A warning. A warning will not be enough, the leader replied. They must be broken this time. A long silence filled the room. Finally the leader declared. The council will not allow humanity to grow stronger. Prepare the full strike force. But what the council did not know was simple. Humans heard everything. Humans prepared for everything. And humans were waiting. Back in human territory. Rhea walked through the main hangar, watching engineers load weapons, fuel ships, and run system checks. Every officer she passed stood straighter, knowing something big was coming. The humans did not fight for conquest. They fought for survival. For respect. And for the right to exist without chains. A young pilot ran up to her. Commander, is it true? The council fleets are coming? Rhea nodded. Yes. But this time, we decide how the fight ends. The pilot looked nervous. But the council is huge. They have many ships. True, Rhea said gently. But they do not have what we have. What is that? The pilot asked. Rhea smiled slightly. Purpose. And purpose is stronger than numbers. That night, the human fleet began to move in silence. Massive dreadnoughts, fast strike ships, carrier vessels, and stealth craft, all heading toward the outer darkness. Toward the Echo Fortress. Toward the trap. Humanity was no longer the cast-out species. They were becoming something else. A force the galaxy could not control. The human fleets moved like silent shadows across the darkness of space. No lights. No open signals. No patterns that enemy scouts could track. Commander Rhea watched the map as hundreds of human ships aligned toward the secret route leading to the Echo Fortress. Only a few people had ever seen that place. Even fewer truly understood its power. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council fleets also moved, loud, bright, confident. They entered human territory like hunters expecting easy prey. Their captain spoke openly about forcing humans back into obedience. They did not know they were walking into a storm. The Council's first strike. The first attack came without warning. A human mining colony, small, peaceful, and far from the core, was suddenly surrounded by a Council strike group. Destroyers, cruisers, and warships formed a shining ring around the small world. The Council commander opened a channel to all human frequencies. Humans, your expansion ends today. Submit now or be erased. People on the colony panicked. Families ran for shelter. Workers dropped tools and rushed to evacuation ships. But the defenders knew help would not arrive. Rhea had ordered all fleets to the Echo Fortress. Still, the colony leader stood his ground. This is human space, he said through the comm. We will not submit. The alien commander responded with cold certainty. Then you will burn. His ships powered their weapons. Hundreds of blue lights formed across their hulls. Energy built. Engines roared. Then, silence. Before the Council fleet could fire, every screen on their ships turned black. Then a message appeared. You entered the wrong system. The aliens froze. Who is this? The Council commander demanded. The message changed. Humanity. And then the trap snapped shut. The ambush begins. Space tore open. Out of nothingness, out of shadow, out of the dark routes humans had hidden for years, the frontier fleet arrived. Draven's flagship, the Sentinel, emerged first. A massive human dreadnought with silent armor and deadly weapons. Behind it came dozens more. A whole fleet, perfectly positioned, perfectly timed. The Council ships scrambled. How did they reach us unseen? How did they hide so many vessels? This is impossible. But it was not impossible. It was human. Draven's voice echoed through the system. You used fear to cast us out. You used power to silence us. But you forgot something important. Humans adapt. Humans survive. And now, a humans stand together. His hand came down. Fire. Human dreadnoughts opened like stars exploding. White beams cut through Council shields. Stealth ships jumped behind enemy lines and hit engines. Strike fighters swarmed like angry sparks from a burning sun. Within minutes, the Council strike force was broken. But this was only the beginning. The Council falls into the trap. As expected, the Council responded fast. 20 more fleets jumped in to save the first strike force. But they did not know where they were. They never realized the humans had changed the old star maps. They never saw the hidden gravity wells. They did not detect the dark matter nets the humans had deployed. And once they entered the region, there was only one path out. The one humans controlled. When the last Council fleet arrived, the humans activated the Echo Fortress. It was not a simple base. It was a superstructure. A shield of energy and metal surrounding an entire dead star. A fortress built not to defend, but to trap. The moment the fortress activated, all exits collapsed. The Council fleets were locked inside. One alien commander screamed, "This is not a battle, this is a cage." He was right. Draven gave the order. Close the fortress. Begin Phase 2. Rhea stood at her command seat inside the fortress control center. Council forces, she broadcast, this is your consequence. You tried to destroy us again. You wanted submission. Instead, you found a united humanity. The turning point. Inside the trap, human ships moved like disciplined hunters. They did not destroy everything. They targeted engines, weapons, and communication systems. Humanity wanted victory, but not extinction. Even the Council began to understand that. Soon their leaders opened a channel. This is all a misunderstanding, one alien commander said. We only wanted control, another admitted. You will leave human space, Rhea said coldly. Forever. And if we refuse? A voice asked. Draven answered. Then you will never leave this fortress. Ever. Silence spread across the Council channels. Finally the alien leader spoke. We will withdraw. The galaxy changes. For the first time in galactic history, the Council fleets retreated. They left human territory. They closed off their borders. And they issued a new order to all member species. Do not provoke humanity. Humans had gone from being cast out to being unstoppable, from being rejected to becoming a force no one could control. The final moment. Rhea stood on the bridge of the Echo Fortress, looking at the stars humans had fought so hard to protect. Draven joined her. It's done, he said. For now, Rhea replied. But the galaxy will watch us carefully. Draven smiled. Let them watch. We don't hide anymore. They stood in silence as human ships moved through the darkness like guardians of a new age. Humans had not chosen war. They had chosen freedom. They had chosen strength when the galaxy expected weakness. And now, every star carried the same message. Humanity was cast out. And because of that, humanity rose higher than anyone ever imagined. The galaxy could no longer control them.